this week was very hard because I feel like you could have had 10 people in it because it was just spread out very evenly.
It's a good week.
Yeah. This week.
You've got an honorable and a dishonorable mention.
Because I can't decide. But I have Mance Warner on there. I spent most of the afternoon preparing for this show, arguing with some people on Twitter about Mance Warner and
arguing with some fight game media people.
Yeah, mostly arguing about things they weren't really arguing about. But there was a guy
engaging.
I was engaging in quality discussion about the pros and cons of Mance Warner because I was a little triggered because. When they announced him, and I watched him on it because I think he did a match on Elevation to and he wrestled Serpentico.
Man.
Serpentico. Yeah. And he went, I don't want to say 50-50, but he went 60-40 with Serpentico.
Right.
And I watched him
and I have to wonder.
Go ahead.
I think that was probably a mistake and probably on his part.
Yeah.
I don't know how much freedom they're given, but I think they're probably given a lot, especially on Dark and Dark Elevation.
Right.
And he has been an indie star for a long time in MLW. Yep. He's wrestled in GCW. Mm-hmm. And I think he thought, I'm going to be on a big YouTube show. I'm going to have a really good match with my buddy Serpentico.
Right.
And he wasn't thinking, I need to be dominant because I'm about to wrestle the champion.
Right.
I really like Mance Warner. I've liked him for a while.
Okay, I was going to ask you if you were familiar with him before, because this is all new to me. He's totally new to me.
I've seen him in MLW, and years ago I heard Tony Schiavone brag on him because that was actually Tony's entrance back in wrestling was commentary for MLW.
That's right.
And he really bragged on Mance Warner, so that made me pay attention to him, and I've seen him in GCW a lot, and I really like him. And I always thought I'd like him better if he was toned down just a little bit. Mm-hmm. I think, if Mark Briscoe ever got injured, Mance Warner would be a great fill-in as part of the Briscoes. He's not quite as violent, not quite as country, not quite as wild, but he's the same type of guy. He wrestles in like muddy boots. I like that they prefaced his entrance on Friday against Jon Moxley with a clip on Wednesday showing he won this major battle royal at Ric Flair's last match. And it was almost like by winning it, he got the match, but they didn't say that.
Yeah.
But I like that they kind of insinuated that. And it felt very much like the Cody Rhodes Open Challenge. And that we're getting an indie guy that a lot of people don't know. And I love that he gave Moxley a really good match. It was the match that I would expect, which is really good back and forth with Moxley eventually dominating because Moxley's simply a bigger, a tougher brawler. I really, really liked it. I assume not that many fans knew who he was, but that's something I like out of AEW and understand it's not best for the ratings.
Yeah.
It may not be the best to get the crowd fired up. And it is a little questionable to be doing it for titles, but again, they established that was something Cody Rhodes did.
Yeah.
And Moxley
it wasn't
is
a title
champion.
match.
It was like a title qualifier match.
They called it an eliminator match, which is not proper use of the word. But
weird.
Yeah.
And we keep having to remember Moxley's not the champion. He's only the interim champion.
Right.
And so that was all very strange. I don't like the title qualifier or whatever.
Yeah.
It should have just been like, this is a non-title match or this is a title match, one or the other. Just say that.
It's a match.
Be done. And it's just a really good match.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of a filler because we're building to the Jericho match.
Yeah.
Which is coming up, I think, next week.
Next week, yeah.
Not even on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I just had a weird reaction to Mance. Maybe it's because I was on vacation, but when I saw that he was, gonna be on there.
I'm on vacation. I'm relaxing. I'll be damned if I have to learn a new wrestler.
That's right.
No, I am not standing for this. I'm not learning anybody.
Yeah. But it wasn't so much. I think what got me worked up on Twitter was I felt like there were a lot of people bagging on people saying, "Oh, you know, if you have to Google someone or that people were like mad that they had to learn a new wrestler or whatever." And it's like that's not what was bothering me. I like them bringing in new people. I like saying like, "Hey, here's this guy you've never heard of him, but he's awesome, and we're giving him a shot." I love that. I love it in storyline, and I love it for the real people. It was when I saw him. I think it was because just recently I had watched, I'm trying to find the YouTube video, but I haven't been able to find it since. It was a video of Paul Heyman talking about bringing Steve Austin to ECW. You know, the famous story of like when he got fired from WCW and he came and did all these shoot interviews and, you know, kind of invented the Stone Cold character right there in ECW. And Paul Heyman.
That was a crazy time to be a pro wrestling fan.
So Paul Heyman's a great storyteller. He's telling the story about Steve Austin got fired. I called him up on the phone and said, "Hey, Steve, what are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just drinking some beer." You know, and and Paul Heyman does the really great Steve Austin impression.
Right.
And he's like, "Well, goddamn, I guess I'll come and cut a promo for you." And then I watched this Mance Warner promo and I think this guy is just doing Paul Heyman doing Steve Austin. Like his voice sounded exactly like your drunk friend doing Steve Austin the way I just did it, which is really bad. And I have not been able to unhear that. It might be, but I have not been able to unhear it.
The thing is, that is a really good explanation for your unease with Mance Warner.
Yeah. Because
you would just listen to that YouTube, and if it sounded exactly the same. By the way, I really need us to do any bonus show where you do that voice the entire time.
Okay.
I would pay so much more than $5 for Fight Game Media if I got
that'll
that
be on the
bonus
Patreon.
show.
That's Patreon only.
There you go. That's that. You don't get that.
That was just a little teaser.
You don't get that for.
Yeah, that
one you got to do a little bonus fee there,
right?
Like the free OnlyFans that you've got to pay for the good photos for. That's what this is. Okay, so that's fair. So are you giving him an honorable mention or a dishonorable mention? Because I'm giving him an honorable, and I kind of had him at number 5.
Okay, I wouldn't dispute that. I would give an honorable mention. But it's because
I liked him for a while.
Okay, I think there are enough people like you and Sam and the people I've talked to about it that are like, we're excited to see him and have been fans of him for a while, that I'm like, I trust the fact that there's more to this guy than I see right now. I didn't love the match with Mox. I didn't hate it. It was fine. I'm just sort of skeptical of people who, whenever I say, tell me about this guy, they say, oh, you need to see his death matches. Because to me, I've seen a few of his death matches. Yeah.
I like him better without the death match.
Well, that's good. I
really do.
Right, because it's like the Briscoes can do death matches, but like they can, you know, Moxley can do death matches, but he can also do the G1. And to me, a guy, I look at him and I see the stereotype that I see is the broken glass deathmatch guy who takes all his mannerisms from more successful characters,
right,
and has cobbled together this sort of personality that the local people get into because he's theirs.
Right.
But then when he comes on the big stage, you realize, oh, he's just a knockoff. He's just an amalgamation of, Steve Austin's voice, redneck version of Eddie Kingston's gear, and physicality of the Briscoes.
See, and I think he is an amalgamation of, I think he's Briscoe's light in a way, but he also is a pretty good wrestler, as in he is a very good brawler. He's clearly not at Jay Briscoe level. Clearly, nobody, very few people in wrestling.
Right, sure, that's not a fair comparison. Yeah,
but he's also he's like Jay Briscoe. He's also a fairly good wrestler. Again, he's not, I don't know, he's not Dean Malenko, but he's a good wrestler. And I do hope, the thing is, you could be right. We could get him in here, and all he wants to do is have death matches with Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley.
Right.
In that case, I don't want him in AEW. But if he is a Briscoe-like character, and he really is, I believe, like that dude in real life, like I'm down for that, because we can't get the Briscoes, but I do like that character. I grew up in the South. I know those guys.
Oh yeah,
that is a character we don't have in AEW, and he could be it.
Yeah.
And so we'll see what he brings to the table.
Yeah.
He's 1-1 now. We'll find out if he's all elite probably pretty soon.
Yeah. So I give him an honorable. That's
fair.
The only thing I kind of put him on the line for was that not so much him, but like I felt like they could have presented him in a way that would have gotten people more excited about him than just like,
they could have done more. They could have shown more clips. They've got,
Eddie could have brought him in as like, here's my guy. He's the Southern version of me, and I'm going to bring him in to take on the JS.
Won this battle royal.
Mox could have said, you know what, I'm going to have a tune-up fight for Jericho. I'm going to find the toughest SOB I can find. And it's this guy, Mance Warner. You know, there's plenty of ways they could have brought him in. It would have been more
60-second promo.
Yeah.
Right after he does that promo. They show the clip of the battle royal. Boom, you're done.
Yeah.
It adds 1 minute of TV.
Yeah.
And that should have been on Dynamite.
Right.